Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to provide a little bit step-to-step tutorial on how to use Canva for the beginners. So if you want to get started on creating graphics or for social media on Canva, or you want to create presentations or even videos and you're a beginner, then welcome to my channel. So I'm going to show you how to use Canva step by step. So I'll show you the basics, just at the beginner basics of making social media posters, how to use the colors, the elements, all that is used on Canva. So one thing that I love about Canva is a design software or an app that is really friendly to beginners because it's super easy to use, it's fun, and also there's a free version. So for example, I want to use the free version in doing these tutorials, and also even if I want to upgrade. So for example, I want to upgrade to Canva right now. As you can see in my screen, on monthly basis, I would be required to pay 6.5 US dollars, and also on an yearly basis is $55, which I think is much cheaper than paying the monthly one. And then now you can have access to all the images, all the elements, all the images without watermarks as compared to when using Canva free version. So this is my Canva interface, and we're just going to get started on creating. Let's say we can start with creating a social media poster. So I've just clicked on create a design. So you can choose what to create from here, from the options here, or for example, you can just type what you want. So for example, I want to create a flyer. So there are options that will come. There's flyer landscape, A4 flyer, portrait, advertising flyer. So you'll just choose whatever you want to create. But today, I'll focus on social media. So I'll choose the social media option on the create a design options, and then I want to choose an Instagram post, and I want a square one. So you can choose different sizes, but also there's an option of a custom size where you can input the sizes that you want. There's width, and then there's height. So pixels, inches, millimeter, centimeter, you just choose what you want. But today we're going to start with Instagram posts. So that is what we have on the Canva edit interface. So we have the blank Instagram post. So it's a square. That's because we chose a square one, 1080 by 1080. And under the design, you have different designs. So under design, you have elements. You can add a text, and also you can upload an image probably from your gallery, or you can bring an image. Just you can search something from Google, and then you can bring it here, and then there are different tools. So for example, on the element, we have different things. You can use different shapes. There's graphics, there's stickers, there's photos, there's frames, there's grids, there's videos, and then there's an audio. But this is for Canva Pro. There are charts, there are polls and quizzes, there's mockups, there's sheets, tables, collections, and the list continues. So for example, you want to add a shape. Let's just start from there. Or you want to, let's assume you want something like yeah, a shape. So you can either select it from here or you can search it here. So rectangular shape. So these are different shapes that are in rectangle. That these are different shapes, so they are not mostly rectangular. There's rectangular, there's circle, there's that one that looks like an arrow, there's a star there, there's a love heart there. So for example, this is the shape that I choose. Let me choose it. Okay. So that's the shape that I have. So with this shape, Canva, you have an option of, for example, this is too small for you. You can decide to enlarge it, or you can also decide to decrease it. And with this shape, you can edit it using different, all these. You can edit this is not a text, this is a shape, so we can change the color. For example, we want a pink color, so it becomes pink. There's a violet color, there's a yellow color, so you can play with the colors. And also there's the stroke weight. I don't know if it will work here. This is the stroke weight, just the border, and you can increase the weight with Canva. So this a very good feature of Canva. So let's put ours without. And our corner rounding, this won't really make sense because there's a love heart, but let's try. We want to round the corners. It's usually good and nice to use on a rectangular or a square. So let's reduce it to 0. And so for example, you can position it differently. So this is a love heart, and for example, we have a background picture. Let's say a sky. Let me just say a sky something. So let me use a free one. I'll use the photos. Let's use this. So for example, um, we have we have this photo that I've put in this post that you're making. So I just position it to go backwards, and then we'll have our shape back here. So with this shape, we can also play with the transparency. Here it's 100% transparent, but you can also reduce its transparency. So yeah. And you can also take it to the back, but that won't really make sense because we won't be seeing it. So let's bring it to the front and just delete this image. Just play with what we have. Yeah, so that's, for example, you have a shape. So for example, we have this shape, but you want to frame it for the elements. So we've done shape, then there's graphics. These are graphic illustrations that are not images, and also they are not text. So using them, I really prefer using graphics in making some posters because they do not require much work. There's no much editing. So, for example, a location. a location graphic, and for example we are making a poster for an invitation, so you want to pin the location for your guests, so you just use that location icon, and then you can use a text. So this is where you can input a text. There are different text styles, and then you can also use Canva font combination. So for example, for the location, we can use Valley Arcade. So let's assume that's the location. So Valley Arcade Mall. And you can reduce the size. You can also increase it, and then you can drag it down here to just align with the location. And then you can also change the color of the text. You can change the color to blue. Let's choose green. You can change the color to green, and you can also change the font type. So let's assume you're using TT norms. Yeah, you can change the the font size and the font type, and with the text you can also use effects on the text. So let's assume Valley Arcade Mall was the heading, and you just want it to, be visible and stick out. So we can probably, let's select it on, then you'll use the effects on it. So you can put a glitch effect, and let me use a shadow effect, and then now you can use a different color on the shadow, probably yellowish. And then when we increase the intensity, the transparency, the yellow will pop. Now you can see it's green and yellow, and we can also blur the yellow. Yeah. So that's all we do with shapes, putting images, shapes. These are graphics, icons. There are different types. So you can search any icon you want, and you'll find it, and you can use the free version or you can subscribe. So adding images. So for example, we want to add an image. Um, there's there's stickers. You want to add a sticker on the poster that you're making, and probably a read more, or a food sticker. You can use that. Canva gives you that options of using different stickers on your poster. And there are different types of stickers: emoji stickers, festive stickers, confetti, social media, trending stickers. And next is you can use different images, photos. So for example, you want to add a photo. Let me search here a photo of football. And you want it to be like a background photo. So for example, this is footballers playing. So you just drag it and drop it in there. So you can drop it in the poster that you're making, on the blank poster, like that. And then now you can play it with it. So probably you don't want it to cover the whole page. So you can just put it there, or you can frame it. And then, so for example, we can add a text of, for example, Kenya versus Ghana. So for example, you want to just create a Instagram poster on an incoming game and you want to invite your audiences to come watch. So we just write Kenya versus Ghana, and then you can change the color of these texts like I've shown you before. So you can change it, for example, using this image. So when you use a photo, the photo colors are usually shown here. So where this one photo color, so you can change it to match the colors that are in the photo. Yeah, so you can use any color, or if you don't want to use those, you can choose it from our default colors, color palette, or you can choose it from here. Yeah, for example, we want it to be green. We already have green here. Yeah, so Kenya versus Ghana. So this is when you want the image to be just, do not take the whole space of the poster, but also you can decide to take the image and just let it cover the whole poster like that and just position it. I think I've moved it. So for it not to move, okay, let me position it to backwards. So it's showing, you see the initial image that we had, it's still here, but now it's not so visible because of the coloring, the colors that we have that are, you know, almost the same, but it kind of look cute. So let me delete that. So for example, you want to make so many adjustments in this poster and you don't want this to move, so you can just place it correctly and then you can lock it. So when you lock it, it cannot move regardless of what you do. So that allows you to do editing easily, and it also positions backward. Yeah. So that's how we add an image, we add a text on it, and also change the color text, play with the image, position it, transparency. So for example, if you want to change the transparency of this image, you want it to blur a little bit, you just click it and reduce the transparency. So that's okay. It's locked. Let me unlock it. So you unlock it and then you choose the transparency. You can decide to reduce the transparency. Yeah. So that's for adding pictures, adding text, and also changing the colors of the text. You can also frame different things. So let me delete that and delete this image. For example, I want a frame and I can use any type of frame. So let me use this device frame just for an illustration. And I want to put an image inside of it. So I'll just come back to it, just on the elements and choose something. Let me say children or wedding. So we have different wedding decorations. I won't use the graphics, I just, because graphics cannot enter inside an image. So I'll use the photos. I'll just choose a free photo. This is a free photo. So I'll drag it and fit it inside the frame that I used. Yeah, so that's how you can put an image inside a frame. Yeah, you can use different frames. Come back to elements. Let's look for the frames that you are using. We can choose a different one, a letter frame, and probably choose an S. So let's choose an S. Let's reduce the size, or let's group this. Let's move this one here and have this frame here. Come back again, choose something that we can put on the On the letter frame, what can we search that relates with wedding, garden? So let me search a garden. So we have different garden pictures. I want a wedding, but the one that, let me choose flowers. Flowers go well with a wedding. So I'll have these flowers and then I'll just pick them and then insert them inside the letter frame. So for example, I want this letter and this device frame to be at the center of this um, Instagram poster image. So I'll just select them all and then I group them. So when moving them, they'll move easily. They'll move all at once. And this means that you can see the line that runs from up to down. This means that they are at the center. I can also select them how they are and let me ungroup. So for example, I can select this device, click the three buttons here and choose align to page and just align it. So I want to align it to page and let it be at the center. So it will move at the center. And for example, I want this S to be at the middle. Let me align it to be at the middle. So it will move to be at the middle of this line. So that's how you can move them and also you can align them to page. So with different images, with different texts, frames, you can always duplicate them. So I just select the S, right click and duplicate. So I'll have another S here. Yeah, so I'll have another S here. I can also duplicate it again. Yeah. Other than that, I can copy just the normal copying and pasting it. And also I can link, like how you usually link, for example, you are writing an article and you want to link it to a specific website, I can link it here. So I can just put a link, for example, www.kathyoma.com. It's invalid because it doesn't exist, so you can link it, and when you download it, somebody will be able to click that particular one and go to the website that you want them to go to. So with this color, I duplicated it. Let me delete this one. So with S, we can decide to remove the background, but we can't really do that right now because we are using a free version. So that's really possible with the premium version. And yeah, let's come back to elements. We've done shapes, frames, pictures, graphics, icons. Yeah, we can also use video. So let me duplicate this page, or let me add a new page and then we can add a video. So let's add a video, a free video. So for example, you want a video on tomato farming. It's a very short one. So all these are free videos. So you'll just search the video relating to what you are doing. So if I choose this video, I can decide to put it on top of the image, or I can decide to use it as a background. On how I showed you, can decide to use it as a background of the image. So it will be there like that. Yeah, so that's how you use videos, and also how you can place it. So beyond videos, we have charts. and we won't talk about that today. So we've just done the basics, how to add an image, how to use the shapes. You want something to be in a particular shape, so you use the shape and insert the image, how to use a frame. So mostly people use frames to make sure a logo, for example, is placed well inside inside a frame. So that's all you can do. So after you're done with creating your image, you want to download it. So you come here to share. At the end right, come here to share, and then you choose download. So with sharing, you can decide to share with, maybe give another person access to your to the poster that you've made. Let me, for example, add someone. So they'll receive, they can edit, or maybe you can just allow them to comment, or they can just be viewers. Allow them to view or comment, and just share with them. So after they accept the invitation, they'll be able to view the poster that you've made, or you can just decide to download so that you can post this on your social media pages. So the most file types that we usually use mostly for downloading social media pages are JPEG, and PNG. For PDFs, I usually use PDF standard or PDF print, but I also use this one for presentations. Yeah, so you just download your image and you just post it on social media pages. So if you are interested in learning more about Canva and how you can make presentations, how you can make flyers, how you can make a resume, how you can make a portfolio, kindly follow me, and like and subscribe, and we'll continue learning together. Thank you.